Going on, everybody? This is episode 3 of the Props Architect. My name's Grady. We have a guest speaker today.
Yes. This is Colson, better known as Mr.SportsforNerds. You can see me at YouTube. Just go and dial that in. It's pretty good content, all about analytics for different sports.
Free plug over here.
Of course.
So today we're going to mix it up a little bit. Instead of talking about MMA, we're going to talk about some college football. So what do you think about the current playoff scenarios with the new CFP rankings this past weekend?
It's bizarre, to go and say the least. I would say so. This season has been super bizarre when it comes to Penn State, and now Penn State's coach is now going to be a Hokie.
I did see that, yeah. Which I kind of like that for him. I mean, it'll be good for him.
I feel like it'll be a good opportunity. I mean, Virginia Tech needed someone in there, and that stadium is always crowdy and rowdy for some new coach to come in and just get that season collaborating.
But they're 3-7 now, and you look in their stands and student sections, full of fans.
It's still there. I mean, they weren't good since the Michael Vick days.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, and they have one of the best traditions too, walking out to Enter Sandman by Metallica. Dude, this just gives you goosebumps when you watch it on TV. It's crazy.
And I bet the opposing team would have goosebumps, but Virginia Tech hasn't been good enough to go and give them goosebumps.
Yeah, I understand that. So, what do you think about Tulane being the last team in the playoff? They're the 12th seed, but they're 24 in the actual rankings.
To me, it's a little weird. I mean, when you first start off, it was USF was going to get that last one, but now Tulane's getting in there. USF has been slowly declining, and so I don't know. This whole ranking system when it comes to the lower teams, and they haven't been performing as much.
I don't like how they do the top 4 teams that lead their conference,
Yeah.
We saw how, I think Ole Miss is currently ranked number 6 in the playoff. Yeah. They'd be hosting a home game. And I believe Tulane would get a bye as a 4th seed. But Tulane and Ole Miss played earlier this year, and it was 45-10. It was a complete blowout when Ole Miss played them.
Yeah. I completely agree with you because these lower teams, I do like the inclusiveness of adding these lower teams into the playoffs just so they can gain money and gain repetition for their own self. But it's also having those bigger schools having less opportunities of growing and showing that, hey, they have talent as well.
Another thing I think is, so you know how in the playoff, the first round, the higher seed gets the home field advantage? And then you go to the next round, and it's just the Rose Bowl, or I could be wrong, but it's a neutral site.
Yep.
I think after the first round, into the second round, the teams that have the bye, 1, 2, 3, and 4, they should be playing at home. They went to their conference championship game. They won. They got a first-round bye in the playoff. Why would you not give them the home field advantage when they played great football the entire season, took a risk of going to the championship game? If they lost that, they could have been playing in the first round, maybe even as an away team, but they won that, and they get home field advantage at a neutral site. That makes no sense to me.
I feel like these neutral site games are weird, because you go and you have these historic bowl games that are like Rose, you had Cotton, you had a bunch of these games that were historic bowl games, but now they're just part of the pieces when it comes into the playoff, which I feel like that if you lose that game, you go to a bowl game, because I feel like that it loses the temptation of this is a big gigantic bowl that people can go to and watch, and it's now just this second round of this playoff game, which it has no contest of being oh yeah, I won this bowl.
Dude, last year, I believe all 4 teams that had a first round bye, they lost their first game in the playoff. All 4 of them. Number 1, Oregon lost to Ohio State, I believe. Number 2, who's number 2? Georgia, I think.
Was it
they might have lost Notre Dame. Yeah. And then Boise State lost to Penn State.
Yep.
And the 4th seed, Arizona State, lost to Texas. So they all had first round byes, playing at a neutral site, and they still lost. Give them the home field advantage. They earn one seed, the number 1 seed, the first round bye. Give them home field advantage at their own stadium.
I just feel like that's the best option for it, because these neutral site games, these bowl games, had consistent I remember UCF at the time. They're oh yeah, we're the best team ever in the Fiesta Bowl, and they were doing all of that. But that Fiesta Bowl counts. It's the biggest game that you'll go and watch in the season that isn't the national championship. or something that's higher. And these neutral site games that are going to the second round doesn't really add value. It's just another step into getting to that big game.
Yeah, I also think like for the CFP rankings, 1 through 12, that's your playoff. Screw having the top 4 highest like conference champions.
Yep.
1 through 12, that's your playoff. Like top 4 teams get a bye. The rest of them, the higher seed, get a home field. Quit doing in my opinion, Tulane has no business being in the playoff.
I do believe that as well.
I mean, Tulane's a great team. John Summerhall's a great coach. I don't know. They don't really. They've been good, but they don't really have the depth to play with like a Ole Miss or a Oklahoma. I mean, maybe Texas Tech.
I mean,
Texas Tech is really good.
Everyone likes that underdog story where people will go and tell saying like, hey, this underdog story, like they've won this game. And I feel like these smaller teams do deserve a chance to kind of go up to the rankings and get some money for their program. Like, I really like that concept towards it. And I feel like that I like the idea of the top 12. But I really like those smaller teams to kind of give themselves, if it's like 1 or 2, just one, that just prove that they're up with the big dogs.
Yeah, but I mean, that just kind of like, not really discredits, but just doesn't have the rankings give much effect into it, because if you're the number 12 team in the CFP rankings and the first team out is you and the first team in is number 24 Tulane, why are you ranked number 12?
That is true.
I don't know. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but that's just my opinion on this entire thing.
I mean, I do believe you with that. It's that Tulane, they're in the American Conference where they're versus teams who have no idea what they're doing basically on the football field, or you have a team like, let's say, Arkansas, who is a fantastic SEC team, but
it's in the SEC.
It's in the SEC, so they're basically bottom of the barrel for it, even though they had close games versus all of the ranked teams in the SEC.
Yeah, and they're a great team.
Yeah.
Same with South Carolina. Like, South Carolina's great. It's just the level of competition in the SEC is just...
It's just higher than the rest. And I mean, Tulane, I get that. I really like those smaller teams to kind of up and gain themselves because they don't verse those SEC teams. And I bet they're like the Arkansas teams that are in there, that they like go slowly, go close to the big teams, but they're not there. And they're never there. So that's my own opinion towards that.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. You offer a great point of view for me to look at.
Yeah.
I just think the most deserving team should be in the playoff.
I believe that too. I believe that the best teams should be going to the playoffs, but those smaller teams who don't really get a chance to be on the spotlight, to have that goal, to be like, yeah, we're in the playoffs, I feel like they kind of deserve it a little bit too, because they don't get that higher chance of going to the playoffs or being those big teams.
I mean, we kind of saw that played out, like, what was it, 2 years ago, Florida State went, like, 11-1?
Yep.
People were lobbying for them to be the 4th seed in the playoff. They obviously didn't get it. They gave the 4th seed to Bama, I think. And FSU was 5 and Georgia was 6. Then they had FSU and Georgia play in the bowl game. And Georgia killed them like 63-3.
And that's why it's now expanded to now 12 teams, because they know that those top at least 8 teams are like, yeah, they're hard hitters. Like, you can't miss out on them. Yeah. They will go and like dice you. Those rest of 9 to 12 teams are like, yeah, they have like 2 losses now. Know that they're a good team, but they're not good enough to go up there with the big dogs just yet.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining in the podcast today.
And thank you so much for letting me in.
No worries. We'll get you on again.
Thank you so much. Yeah.